All right, now we're going to go into the purchase order additional customization. So this is what really differentiates a purchase order customization from like an invoice customization. And it's going to be because of the different fields available on a PO. Okay, so let's go to lists and templates. And then we're going to select our Fourlane purchase order and edit the template. All right, and then I'm going to click on additional customization down below here. So with additional customization, this is where we're talking about the headers, which again is the top part of your purchase order, right? Things that will show up on the purchase order one time. And then down below, we'll talk about the columns down below here. Now, in order to see it in effect immediately, rather than going through the template list here, you can actually go into your actual purchase order screen and then click on Formatting and Customize Data Layout. Okay, and that takes you right to the additional information. Now from here, if I needed to get to Basic, right, I could click Basic down below. But what's nice about this is some of the things that I change will go into effect immediately. So if I wanted to change the title, purchase order, right, maybe we call it a requisition, rec order. As soon as I change that, notice it changes it on my template, and then when I hit OK though, it actually changes it on my screen, right? So whenever my users are logged in, they're going to see rec order in here. Okay, I have my PO date. Again, the screen and the print columns here. If I want it to show up on the screen, but I don't want it to print to my customer, I uncheck the print box. If I want it to print to my customer, but not show up on my screen, so let's say we didn't want anybody to be able to edit the date, so I could take it off of my screen, so it still prints to my customer, but then it's just going to default to today's date as an example. Well, actually, that's a preference. You want to make sure that you have the preferences set up correctly, but yeah, so you can do that though. If I wanted to add the PO number here, you can add it, who the vendor is, the ship to address, right? If I had other fields, I can add other fields here. Those are usually just free type fields. Terms, right? So right now I don't have much on the top of this PO. So let's say I want to add terms, and I want to add the expected delivery date, and I'll also print that one. Okay, so notice once I print it, it pulls it up on my screen here. I would have to go back into basic customization and apply the color scheme again if I wanted to pick up the color scheme on those new boxes I add. Okay. All right, so once I add those, it'll add the things to my screen right here. And then also whatever I added to print, it'll show up in my print preview. So next we'll go to columns. So columns, we can have the service date can be added, the item, the customer or job that we're ordering this part for can be added, the description for the part, the manufacturer's part number. A lot of times, again, a lot of our customers will not add their item number. They'll only add the manufacturer's part number to their POs because the vendor understands that the manufacturer's part number, not necessarily our internal item number. Okay, quantity, rate, amount, which is quantity times rate. It will add, if you want to the screen, or you can have it print out as well, the back ordered column and the received column. So those will be two grayed out columns in QuickBooks because they're going to be system calculated, right? I ordered 100, I received 50, so 50 are on back order. So they'll be grayed out fields, so you can't actually edit them on the screen, but they'll show them on the screen. We can have the class on the line item, and we have some other fields that we can add down below here too. Again, usually we don't recommend using the other fields still. They do show up on reports now, so the functionality is a lot better than when I recorded this video a couple years ago. However, I still prefer custom fields because we can't access those as easily with some other higher end reporting. Okay, so footer, I can come in here and add, if I wanted to add the vendor message, that can be added here, the total at the bottom, and then a long disclaimer text. Again, for the long disclaimer text, usually I like doing just a text field in the Layout Designer, which we'll show you in the next video. And then we can choose some print preferences. So a lot of times people will print out, right, instead of using the standard printer settings, they'll choose to print this out landscape as an example on their POs. You can have the totals only show on the last page, which is a good preference they added a couple years ago. You can print page numbers on the bottom, and then also choose to print trailing zeros. Okay. So a couple of different additional customization options. In this video, we don't go into how to add custom fields to templates, but that's in the more advanced section or intermediate section, I think. So make sure to check those out as you get to feel more comfortable with the product.